Hi everybody, it's Miss Frick again here for our read aloud for the week, and this actually is one of my favorite read alouds, one of my favorite books. The kids have probably heard me say this, but it's like one of my all-time favorites. This is Officer Buckle and Gloria, one of my all-time favorites, and it's by Peggy Rothman. And again, I have my little question markers to help us understand the story a little better. This is something you might see when you come back next year, but this is definitely something that I'm going to use today. Okay, so Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77, never stand on a swivel chair. So, if we're talking about what is happening on this page, who is the main person on our page? It is a police officer. What is he doing? He is talking about stopping people from doing things. What else is he doing? He's putting stuff on his bulletin board. And he put up safety tip number 77. Ooh. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. So where is Officer Buckle in the story? He is at the school. Who is he talking to at the school? He is talking to students. Very nice. He's talking to students. Whoops. They're not sticking today. And what is he doing? Or what are the kids doing? What are they doing? They're not listening is what they're doing. Not listening, which is not very nice. Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Miss Topple didn't hear him. See, she's standing on a swivel chair. There's some other things going on. We got a kid with his shoelaces untied. We got some kids throwing some books up here. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, who is he talking about on this page? Mrs. Topple, the principal. What is she doing? She is standing on a swivel chair, which she's not supposed to do. And what did she do when Officer Buckle told her not to stand on a swivel chair? She did not listen. She didn't listen. Which is never a good sign. Then one day, Napville's police department brought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. So here we're introduced to Gloria. You can see. Here we're introduced to Gloria. It's very buggy today. As you can see, I'm outside and it's very buggy. So, when is this happening? This page, when is it happening? It's happening the next day. So it's a brand new day. Who are we introduced to on this page? We are introduced to Gloria. And where are they going? They are going to the school. Very nice. They are going to the school. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. So what is happening on this page? Here, they're introducing them as a pair. And what is he showing them that Gloria can do? That she can what? Listen. Very nice, that she can listen. Very nice, she can listen. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. Look at that page. Excuse me. Why do you think they sat up and stared? If you look at that page and think, what are they doing? So what did Officer Buckle start off by doing? He announced what? Safety tip number 1. Very nice. Okay. After he did that, what was the tip? What was safety tip number 1, if you remember? Keep your shoelaces tied. Because that's a very important rule. And what happened after he gave that? What's happening? Gloria's doing something, and what are the kids doing? Their eyes are wide. Remember, they said they sat up and stared, so they have wide eyes because Gloria as being silly. Very nice. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was. So she's doing it over here, but as soon as he looks, she stops doing it and smiles up at him. So what is happening on that page? What did Officer Buckle do? He checked on them, and he looked to see if Gloria was doing what was asked of her. Very nice. Oh, safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. So if you look, why do you think their eyes popped on that page? Why? Look at what's happening on that page. Why did it pop? Very nice. So what is happening on this page? He's talking about safety tip number 2. And why is he talking about that, do you think? Why? Why? Because people can slip and fall, right? And what causes people to slip and fall? When there's spills. And then what happened when he went over that rule? The kids' eyes what? Popped. Very nice. They popped. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. You see again, he looked at her and she's not doing anything. Okay, so what happened? Again, Officer Buckle checks on her. And what is she doing? She's sitting at attention because she knows not to show Officer Buckle. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. So what happened? He talked about never leaving a thumbtack on the chair. And what happened? Gloria went crazy. And what did they do? They were laughing and thought it was so funny. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. So his speech worked because nobody got hurt. So I'll put up a little bit. So, how did Officer Buckle feel about his speeches? He felt really happy because everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. And how did the people feel in the story? How did the kids feel? They were very excited and they were clapping for him. Very nice. They were clapping for him. Whoops. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Knappville School. So the kids at Knappville wrote them some letters. So, when did this happen? When is this page happening? It's happening. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, when? When is it happening? I'm sorry, I got confused. When is it happening? The next day. Where is he when this is happening? He's at the police station. Very nice. And what is he doing? He's reading letters. Very nice. He's reading letters. Very nice. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showed a lot of imagination. So, we all know what? That these are from when Officer Buckle and her were doing their speeches, but Officer Buckle doesn't know that Gloria was doing that during their speeches. So it's a little bit of a surprise for Officer Buckle. So what is happening? They're receiving letters. Oh, sorry. They're receiving letters. And he thought, what about the kids? They had a lot of imagination. Very nice. Imagination. Whoops, if Miss Frick can turn the page. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a great team. Your friend Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. So someone made that nice little picture. So what is on this page? What shape was that letter? It was a star letter. Very nice. It was a star letter. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips. And please bring along that police dog. So, where is he? Or I'm sorry, Miss Frick is a little confused today. What is happening? He's doing something on his board, right? Right? He's thumbtacking something to the board. Why was he doing that? Why was he doing that? Because he was on the phone, right? He did it once he got on the phone. And what happened with the phone? Where was he going to go? To the school. Very nice. Very, very nice. Officer Buckle told us safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. Oh, I'm blocking Blueberry. So how many schools did he go to? 313. 313. 313. Who was he going to see? Right? Who is he going to see? What did he talk about there? Talked about safety speeches, right? And they said, bring Gloria. And then what were they doing? They were teaching kids how to do the safety tips. After every speech, Officer Buckle and Gloria went out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. Look at how nice they are together. They make a good team. Does everybody see up there on the top how Gloria's signing autographs? Do you see? Miss Frick likes that one. So when is this happening? After the speech, right? After the speech. Okay, what are they doing? Eating ice cream, right? They're eating ice cream. That's where Miss Frick got it wrong. Okay, and what are they doing? And what did Officer Buckle like? He liked having a buddy. Very nice. He liked having a buddy. Then one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. So in a big auditorium. Look at all those people. It's a big auditorium. So what's happening? He's going to be on TV, right? He's going to be famous on TV. And when is he doing this? The next day, right? The next day. Right? Because that's what he was on the phone for. When he finished safety tip number 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms, the students jumped to their feet and applauded. Bravo, bravo, they cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. So, what is happening on this page? What are they talking about? They're talking about don't go swimming in an electric storm, right? And what safety tip was that? Do you remember what number? I'll give you a couple seconds to think. Safety tip number 99. And what did they do when they said that tip? They applauded, right? And they applauded again because they were so excited about the safety tip. Very nice. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. Does everybody see Gloria's face? Why do you think Gloria looks like that? Why would Gloria be nervous? Why do you think? So what were they doing? They were watching television. And when were they doing it? It was at night. Very nice. So why do you think Officer Buckle would be, Gloria would be nervous? Right? Think about that for a second. Why would Gloria be nervous that they were watching it on the TV? Think about that. The next day, the principal of Natville School telephoned the police station. Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech. Officer Buckle frowned. I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway. Oh, said Mrs. Topple. Well, how about Gloria? Could she come? So what is happening on this page? What is happening? What is happening? So what day is it? It's the next day. Who are we talking about on this page? We're talking about Officer Buckle and Gloria. What happened? He's on the telephone, right? And why is he on the telephone? Because he's talking to Miss Topple. There's a lot going on this page. How did he feel about the speech? How did he feel? Because they were talking about the speech on the phone, and he said, I feel really what? If it says he frowned, so what does that mean when you're frowning? That means you're really mad. So he's not happy about how the speech went. And what emotion, I told you, what emotion makes that you think of? Mad. He's mad about what happened. Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. After Gloria left, Knappville School had its biggest accident ever. So now they're not working as a team anymore, and things are starting to happen. When they worked as a team, there were no accidents, and now they're not a team anymore, and now there's all kinds of accidents. So who went to the school for the speech? Just Gloria. No Officer Buckle this time. And what happened? Did they listen? Did they look like they're listening? No, they didn't listen, right? Because then it had the biggest accident ever. It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, sploosh! Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. Oh my goodness gracious, look at all that. That just looks like a huge mess. A huge mess. So what is happening on this page? What's the biggest thing that happened on this page, do you think? Mrs. Topple got pushed off her swivel chair by banana pudding, right? She slipped on it. Slipped off because of banana pudding. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet. Safety tip number 7. So, on this page, if we look, there's all kinds of letters, and there's the letter that we're talking about. So, when did this happen? When did this happen? This happened the next day, right? The next day it happened. What happened? What happened? He got a pile of what? Letters? Where did he get a pile of letters at? The police station. And then, what was that special letter he got? It was one with a star. And then, how did that make him feel when he got that one with the star? It made him feel happy. Very nice. It made him feel happy. Very nice. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip ever. So what's happening on this page? They're coming back together, right? They're now forgiving each other because they know they need each other. And they're having a good idea. Officer Buckle came up with his best idea ever. Safety tip number 101. Always stick with your buddy. Always stick with your buddy. Very nice. So what's happening on this page? He's giving what tip? 101. And it's always stick with your buddy. Very nice. So that is our story. One of Miss Frick's all-time favorites books, Officer Buckle and Gloria. She loves it with a passion. So what I'm going to have you do is this one. We have some people working on some different things. So for my friends, Jace, Tyez, and Brady, this is what you are going to be working on. You guys are going to have this piece of paper. And what we have is the police station, or police officer, excuse me, and firefighter. What you're going to do is cutting these out, you're going to put where they match. So for example, we have a police officer's hat. It would go with the police officer. You have a fire engine. That would go with the firefighter. And that's what you're going to do on this page, is match the picture to whether it goes with the police officer or the firefighters. Okay? The next one you're going to do is they have little police badges. And what you're going to do is, again, you're going to cut out your letters and you're going to put them in alphabetical order. So, for example, we have A. What would come next? B. You'd put your B. C. D. E. So you're filling in the missing blocks. Okay? So that's for my friends there. So for Angelo, Connor, Devin, Joseph, Jeremiah, Brianna, Raylyn, and Tristan, this is going to be your paper. There's a lot of you. So for this one, what you're going to do is you're going to be graphing. So, for example, the police car has the word red next to it. What you are going to do is in this big box right here, you're going to find all of the police cars and color them red. So, for example, I'd color this one red, I'd color this one red, I'd color this one red, and I would do that the whole way through. I'd go through all of these. I'd make the badges orange, the cap yellow, the handcuffs green, the helicopter blue, and the walkie-talkie purple. Then, once you find all of those, you're going to look here. And here we have our pictures in a graph. Remember we talked about graphs? So for example, the helicopter. What you're going to do is, let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4 helicopters. So what I'm going to do is for each helicopter that I find, I'm filling in one square, only one. So for each helicopter, I'd make 1 helicopter is 1 square, 2 helicopters is 2 squares, 3, 4. So I would have to make my helicopter come all the way to the square. So when I go down, it says the number 4. Sorry, my finger's in the way. 4. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to find them up here, and you're going to graph them down here to the number that they go to. So for example, let's say we had 5 badges. You would color it to the 5. If you had our car, let's say we had 8, you'd color it all the way to the number 8. And you're going to do that for each one. But make sure when you're doing them, you go right next to the picture. Because if we were to look at this again, and you have the helicopter where the hat should be, we're not going to have the right information. So make sure you're looking at your picture and putting the right information on there. Okay? So that's your first thing. The next thing you're going to do is it's called fact or fiction. So what you're going to do is you're going to read the sentence. So for example, they deliver mail to people's houses. Does a police officer deliver mail to people's houses? Yes or no? Okay? And then you're going to cut out the hats and put them on sentences that are not true. So for example, police officers don't take mail. That's the mailman. So I would cut one of these out and stick it on this one. You can also color the hats too once you're done. But you can color them, and then whenever you find a fact that's not true, that's important, not true, you put it on there. If it is true, you leave it alone. So for example, let's find one that's true. Police officers protect the public and stop crime. That is true, so I would not put anything on there. Okay? Sound good? So, that is it for this week. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday, and you have an awesome weekend, and you get to do something fun. Miss Frick misses you guys like crazy. She can't wait till we get to see each other again. And she loves you guys, and she cannot wait to see you guys again, okay? Bye-bye.